July 17, 2024. At the Mirage, 137 employees gather for one final volcano eruption. Then the doors lock and 3,000 people lose their jobs. Within hours, demolition begins on the casino that once made Las Vegas possible. Hard Rock's gamble of $3 billion is set. But will this next miracle live up to its legend or become the Strip's most expensive mistake? Under the porte cochere where it all began, the air was thick with memory. For 137 employees, this was not just a workplace. It was a lifetime. Some had started as teenagers. Others had built entire careers inside these walls. Their faces showed pride and exhaustion, joy and sorrow, all at once. The crowd pressed in close, sharing stories about opening night in 1989, about wild weekends, famous guests, and quiet moments behind the scenes. Laughter mixed with tears as friends hugged, knowing this was the last time they would gather as a family under the Mirage name. As the final eruption of the volcano rumbled through the humid July night, hands reached for phones, trying to capture the moment. Even those who had seen the show thousands of times watched in silence. The familiar heat, the roar, the glow on the lagoon, then nothing but darkness. Someone whispered, "It's really over." For the staff who were there on day one, this was the end of an era measured not in years, but in weddings, birthdays, and retirements celebrated together. The Mirage was their second home, and now its doors were locked. The Strip moved on, as it always does, but for these 137, the Mirage would never be just another building. It was a place where lives unfolded and where, for one last night, Las Vegas stood still. By sunrise, the Mirage was no longer a hotel. It was a job site. Security teams swept the casino floor, and contractors rolled in with hard hats and demolition permits. The doors, locked only hours before, now kept out thousands of workers who had called this place their livelihood. More than 3,000 employees received layoff notices, the largest single workforce cut on the Strip in recent memory. Hard Rock committed $80 million in severance, a payout that dwarfed anything seen in Las Vegas hospitality. Some workers packed up boxes of uniforms and photos, while others waited for instructions on where to collect final checks. The mood shifted from nostalgia to reality as moving vans lined the service entrance and supervisors handed out envelopes. Jim Allen, the chairman of Hard Rock, made it clear demolition of the volcano would begin literally tomorrow. There was no pause, no slow fade. The transformation from memory to construction project started overnight. Where families had gathered to watch the volcano's fire, surveyors now marked out the footprint for a new tower. The Strip's cycle of erasure and reinvention was already in motion, as if the past could be cleared away with the turn of a key and the swing of a wrecking ball. November 22nd, 1989. Steve Wynn stood before a crowd of 40,000, watching as the doors to the Mirage swung open for the first time. At $630 million, the resort was the most expensive gamble Las Vegas had ever seen. Wynn's vision was so ambitious that no traditional bank would touch it. Instead, he turned to Michael Milken, Wall Street's so-called junk bond king. Wynn later said, "No Mike, no Mirage." The entire project was built on high-yield debt, an unproven model in the casino world. Analysts warned it would need $1 million a day just to pay the bills. That number became a kind of legend, whispered in boardrooms and back offices up and down the Strip. The risk paid off before the sun set on opening day. 40,000 people surged through the lobby, filling every table, every slot, every restaurant. By midnight, the Mirage had cleared its daily target. Las Vegas had not seen a new major resort in over 15 years. The city was reeling from recession, competition from Atlantic City, and the shadow of the deadly MGM Grand Fire. Wynn and his team, especially Elaine Wynn, who insisted on pushing the building back from the street to make room for the volcano, wanted more than just another casino. They built a spectacle, a tropical lagoon, a volcano that erupted every hour, white tigers, dolphins, and a forest under glass. The Mirage did not just break records, it changed the rules. In 1990, Las Vegas visitation jumped 16%, the biggest leap in the city's history. The Strip's future was no longer about gambling alone. It was about creating a world people would travel across the globe to see. For one brief moment, all the old doubts vanished. The Mirage had made the impossible look easy. MGM's $6.6 billion purchase of Mirage Resorts in 2000 brought the resort under the control of a company that prized scale and efficiency. The Mirage, once the crown jewel of the Strip, became just one asset among many in a swelling corporate portfolio. Decisions about entertainment, renovations, and marketing were now made in boardrooms far from the casino floor. The property's once radical identity began to blur as MGM poured resources into newer, flashier projects like Bellagio and City Center. Signature attractions lost their luster. The volcano, for a decade the Strip's most famous spectacle, was overshadowed by the Bellagio fountains and other high-tech marvels. Siegfried and Roy's residency, a Mirage staple since 1990, ended abruptly in 2003 after Roy Horn was critically injured by a tiger during a live performance. The theater was later reimagined for Cirque du Soleil's Beatles' Love, which brought a new wave of visitors but could not fully revive the resort's fading magic. Even that show closed on July 7, 2024, just days before the Mirage itself. By 2019, the Mirage reported $154 million in adjusted earnings. Respectable, but underwhelming for an 80-acre property at the heart of the Strip. While competitors unveiled billion-dollar towers and headline residencies, the Mirage's tropical theme and aging amenities struggled to keep pace. The resort that once set the standard for Las Vegas innovation now watched from the sidelines as the city raced ahead. MGM's focus on portfolio management over reinvention left the Mirage adrift, its iconic status eroded by time and corporate inertia. The need for a bold transformation became impossible to ignore. In December 2021, Hard Rock International agreed to pay $1,075 million in cash for the Mirage's operating assets. The Seminole Tribe of Florida, owners of Hard Rock, became the first tribal operator to hold a major stake on the Las Vegas Strip. But the deal came with a twist. Hard Rock did not buy the land. Vici Properties, a real estate investment trust, retained ownership of the 80-acre site. Hard Rock signed a 25-year lease, locking in an annual rent of $90 million, with a 2% increase each year. That means fixed payments rising steadily for decades, regardless of how the resort performs. To help fuel the transformation, Vici's partner, Property Growth Fund, offered up to $1.5 billion in redevelopment financing, a powerful resource that comes with its own long-term obligations. Every dollar spent before a single guest checks in adds pressure to make the new Hard Rock a blockbuster. The financial clock started ticking the moment the ink dried. Steel rises where the volcano once roared. By January 2026, the Guitar Tower has reached 28 stories, 2/3 of its planned height. Its glass and steel frame is already reshaping the Strip skyline. The old Mirage towers are gutted to bare concrete, their rooms stripped, and hallways echo with the sound of drills. Construction crews work around the clock, racing toward an opening in the fourth quarter of 2027. When finished, the new Hard Rock will offer nearly 3,700 rooms, with 675 inside the Guitar Tower itself. The casino floor will nearly double in size, and plans call for 21 restaurants and 200,000 square feet of meeting space. Every milestone comes with a cost. Total investment is set to surpass $3 billion. A sum that includes not just the build, but years of escalating rent and the price of transformation itself. Outside the site, the Strip faces a different reality. In 2025, visitation dropped 7.5%, the sharpest decline since the pandemic. As the tower climbs higher, so does the pressure. The question isn't whether Hard Rock can finish the project, but whether Las Vegas will be ready to fill it. Las Vegas tears down its icons to chase the next big bet. this time with a $3 billion wager riding on a guitar-shaped tower. As Strip visitation falls and competition intensifies, the city's future hangs on one question: can reinvention outpace obsolescence? In Vegas, the gamble never ends.